Okay, how much do you know about Korean history? Or how it was written? And how can we tell if the history we know is true? My name is Yoon Choi, and I would like to teach you a little bit about how the history of the Joseon dynasty was recorded in Joseon Wangjo-shilok, or the Annals of the Joseon dynasty. The collection covers a range of 25 different rulers from King Taejo to King Jeojong, and spans a period of 472 years. It contains information on many topics, including ranging from the economy and politics to music. So, to many people, these records are extremely valuable. But how are these records recorded? If we look carefully at historical earth, there is always a person next to the king who is shown writing. These people are called sagwan or scribe. They kept a 24 hours rotation with the king and recorded everything that happened, from the affairs of state to the meetings between the kings and his servants. The most important quality required to be a scribe were truthfulness and objectivity. There is an interesting story about it. In the 4th year of King Taejong, he fell off a horse while hunting. And the first thing he said to his servants was, "Do not let the scribe know." He was ashamed that he had fallen, so he did not want others to know about his accident. But you may wonder how we have a record of this in the annals, right? It was written exactly like this. In the 4th year of King Taejong, he fell off a horse while hunting and was not hurt. But the first thing he said to his servants was, "Do not let the scribe know." Wow, isn't it amazing? Amazing. However, King Taejong never knew about this record because the records were kept confidential from everyone, including the king, and kept in a special library known as the Sago. The records were kept confidential because, from including everyone, including the queen, because the including the king. Sorry, I just forgot.
네, 저희 많이 긴장한 것 같은데요. 박수 한번 부탁드릴게요. 네.
Okay, I'm okay now. It was if the king were to have assessed it before, he would have commanded his achievements to be emphasized and his mistakes to be erased. This would have made the definitive point of the records being objective. So, due to this, we can be sure that when we read these records, we are reading facts and nothing has been changed. Naturally, there have been numerous difficulties in preserving the annals of the Joseon dynasty. To prepare for fires or invasion, there were copies of all of the records in 4 separate sagos. Unfortunately, during the Japanese invasion, all the sagos were burned except for Jeonju sago. At this time, 2 elderly men named An Ui and Son Hong-ro were able to save the records in Jeonju sago. In order to move 60 boxes, including 830 books of the annals, they were willing to sell all of their property to pay for horses and workers. And finally, they kept, during 7 years of war and ever-changing circumstances, they continued to move the collections to safe places. And finally, they kept the annals from being destroyed. And after the war, 5 copies of the annals were made and kept hidden deep in the mountains, and 4 of these have survived until today. So today, the annals of the Joseon dynasty is recognized as the world's most extensive record of a single dynasty. And it was also listed as UNESCO World Cultural Heritage in 1997. It is also used as a valuable resource for historical research of East Asian empires and the basis cultural content of dramas and movies. In short, it is a record. It is a link between the past and the future. The annals of the Joseon dynasty is not just a record of the Joseon dynasty, but the heritage and pride of the Korean people. I think history is our meter. Sometimes I look good in the mirror, but sometimes I don't look as good. No matter what I look like, I am myself, and history is the same. Both the good and bad things in history are something that we should learn from, and we can also connect with our ancestors this way. I believe that we should use this record as the example for the records we make of today, so that in the future they have a clear and unbiased view of this time as well. Thank you so much.